everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I want to show you how I make my lamb hot pot. This is not exactly the traditional lamb hot pot, but this is just the way I make it. So if you want to try out something new, then carry on watching. So for this recipe you will need 500 grams of your lamb meat, 2 kidneys chopped up into small pieces, 1 tablespoon of butter, 2 carrots cut into pieces again, and 2 large onions chopped up, mushrooms which are optional, I've just sliced them, 1 tablespoon of plain flour, 1 teaspoon of pepper, half a teaspoon of salt, 4 cloves of garlic, half a teaspoon of thyme, a pinch of clove powder and a pinch of cumin powder, and 1 bay leaf and 1 spring onion which we're gonna chop up into pieces in a little while, and 2 potatoes sliced, and 500 milliliters of chicken stock or beef stock. So first of all, we're going to heat up the pan, then melt our butter and add in our garlics, and then let them brown just for a little, and then add in our onions. Be careful not to burn the garlic, otherwise it will leave a burnt aftertaste in your food. If you don't have fresh garlic, then you can add in garlic powder and we add in our spices. Now I'm going to add in my onions because the garlics have become a golden brown color, and now I'm going to let this cook until the onions have become slightly brown and soft and translucent. If you think the onions are going to catch at the bottom and start burning, then add in a splash of your stock, or you can add in more butter. Once the onions have browned a little, I'm going to add in my spices, so my salt and pepper, my cumin powder, my clove and my bay leaf, and I'm going to just give it a mix and let it sit for a little while to cook out the rawness of the spices. So once the spices have sauteed a little, add in the lamb kidneys. So I've just gone and cut the lamb kidneys into small pieces like this, and now I'm just going to saute them as well until all the extra water evaporates. Now I'm adding in my 1/4 teaspoon of ginger and garlic paste. This is optional and an additional step. This is the reason why I didn't mention it in the beginning, because we've already added in garlic. But I just think ginger and garlic paste, it helps everything cook a little bit better and it gets rid of the kidney smell. And to keep everything from burning, I'm just going to splash in a little bit of my stock. We're going to be adding all of the stock in anyway, so if you want to, you can just use that, or you can even use regular water, it doesn't really matter. Give everything a quick mix and then add in your meat and just let everything braise for a little while and let it cook and let all the extra water evaporate. So all the water has evaporated. Now I'm going to add in my mushrooms and I'm just going to cook them for a little while until they're tender. So I just went and changed my pot because I realized that if I add anything else in, it's gonna overflow. Don't make the mistake like I did and get a bigger pan from the beginning. I'm not going to add in my carrots at the moment because if I add them in too early, then they will just dissolve and there will be no texture left and you won't be able to see them. Now, to stop everything from sticking at the bottom of the pan and to prevent it from burning, I'm just going to add in another splash of my stock, and I'm just going to give it a quick mix. Because I'm not making the hot pot the traditional way, I've cut my carrots and everything quite small. But if you want to make it the traditional way, then you can cut the carrots into chunks, and that way, even if you add them in the beginning, they won't break by the time everything is cooked. Now I'm just going to remove the bay leaf. Now I'm going to add in my tablespoon of plain flour. I'm just going to give it a mix. So I'm going to keep cooking and stirring the flour for around a minute or two, and this way you won't get that floury taste into your food. If you don't cook it enough, you will get that taste and it will just ruin the whole dish. So be sure to thoroughly cook out the flour. prevent the flour from overcooking and burning, I'm just going to add a tablespoon of butter in, and this way it will just moisten things up a little and it will cook the flour more evenly. Now I'm going to add in my stock. Keep stirring to get rid of any lumps. I'm just going to give everything a quick mix and then put my flame on high and let it cook until the gravy thickens. So once your gravy looks like this and it has thickened up quite well, then you can add it into your casserole dish. Now I'm going to add in my diced carrots. I'm just going to give it a quick mix, and then I'm going to add in my spring onions. I've sliced my potatoes into thin slices and I'm just going to layer them on top of the casserole. If you want to adjust any of the seasoning, then you can do that before you add in your potatoes. Now I'm just going to dot my potatoes with butter. If you want to, you can melt the butter in a bowl and just brush the potatoes over. And this way, when you put it in the oven, you'll get a nice golden color on the potatoes and they won't burn. And I'm going to put this in the oven for around 1.5 hours to 2 hours on gas mark 5.5. If you think it's going to burn, then you can cover the casserole with a lid, and if you don't have a lid, then you can just put foil on the top and just let it cook. If you make this recipe, then let me know in the comments below what you did differently or how it turned out. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Instagram. I hope to see you next time. Bye.